I'm top left.
We're on 10 furlongs. I'm bottom. Am I bottom or top?
You're bottom, I'm top.
Okay.
This is the Tampa Stakes at 1.25 miles. They're all in line. And they're off. Lo Duca wins the start, and he's moving toward the early lead. Racing from second, Caleb Keller is taken in hand. He'll drop back to trail. So the two principals in the contest are first and last as they come under the wire for the first time. Lo Duca, savvy veteran, takes hold of his stalking role here, so he'll take a second trip aboard Split Effort as they round that first turn. Meanwhile, Caleb Keller, riding like so many of the European riders, he's at the back of the pack while unhurried. He's a bit wide, however, through the first stages of the race as they went through the opening half mile in a time of 47 and 4. So they're not flying, they're not crawling either, and the 10 is allowed to strut its stuff up top, but Lo Duca has dead aim from second. And then it's a gap of another 6 lengths back. Caleb Keller still last. He's out in the center of the course here, giving up some valuable ground on this very, very speed-favoring turf course. There's 4 furlongs to run on the race, and they swing around the far turn. The 10 leads it by 1.25 lengths. Racing from second and well held here is Lo Duca. He's had the perfect run of it. He just needs waiting for his cue to go on. Meanwhile, Caleb Keller has had an absolutely horrendous run here. Where did we get this trip from? He's been 6 wide on the course. He's made a move before the 3/8 pole, and now has to kick on while 5 wide as they turn into the stretch. Caleb Keller has made this long, sustained run here. If he wins, he's much the best horse. Lo Duca trying to get back on terms here, but as they come to the wire, it's a very game performance from Caleb Keller. Lo Duca surging photo finish. We have a photo finish to start the afternoon. Split Effort, much the best racehorse under Caleb Keller. He didn't win the race, but he was second.
We both have different styles.
Huh?
We have different styles.
Yeah, I know.
Right here. Let's see what we got. All right.
Yeah. My horse isn't ready yet.
10 furlongs.
They're off. Once again, Lo Duca way well from an outside gate. He's dropping over to save some ground. We'll see if Caleb Keller on Split Effort employs the same tactics as he did last time out, as he dropped back to last and was very wide, but he knew what he had underneath him. But as they go into that first turn, Lo Duca is up for a narrow lead. The pace is slow early. The opening quarter just 25 and 1 as they round that first turn. The 9 is allowed to go on within and leads by 2. It's as though these two jockeys are only worried about each other here, as Lo Duca has floated 4 wide, sending Split Effort and Caleb Keller 6 wide as they run to the back stretch now. The pace is picked up. The 9 has the lead. Racing from second, it's the 4. As they make their way down the back stretch, there's now less than 5 furlongs to run in the race. And Caleb Keller is doing the same thing on Split Effort. He's marching toward the lead, and he's very, very wide on the course. So these enterprising tactics have worked for him, but Lo Duca's up to the wise moves here, as he's now going to float out Split Effort as they round the far turn. So the two principals in the lead are doing things a bit different than they did in the first race of the series, with Lo Duca not riding as confident as he had in leg 1. Meanwhile, here's Split Effort trying to make a run from the back as they turn for home. There's a quarter of a mile left to go. Split Effort has plotted a wide course. He's trying to get to the leader now, and Lo Duca maintains control. He's set down driving, and Lo Duca holds a short lead. Split Effort is out of gas, trying to bridge the gap, but the first leg went to Caleb. Paul's got 1. It's 1-1. Give it to Lo Duca.
Did I win the race? Or I get outboxed.
Did you get clipped or no?
I think I got clipped.
Oh,
no! Oh, man.
Brutal beat.
Oh. What is this?
Look at this. Look at
Wow, we're
these
tied.
ratings. Look at
28
these
ratings.
ratings.
It's like my horse's scope. He can't go that far.
All right.
The horses are in the gate.
And they're off. And we'll see how Split Effort does this time out. He has been the focus point of this series, but Lo Duca has done well on his mount.
We're gonna trip this time.
Petite Creek, as they march toward that first turn, is dropped over to the inside, and at this extended journey of 1.5 miles, Petite Creek will take the lead, and Split Effort will refrain from any sort of early antics. Had to work the antics in. There's no antics of any kind from Caleb Keller and at the back of the pack with Split Effort. Meanwhile, Petite Creek is just allowed to lope along. He's been allowed to settle in down toward the inside, but as they slow that pace down with about 1 mile to run in the race, the leader is, it doesn't really matter. We're focusing on Paul and we're focusing on Caleb. Caleb on Split Effort. He's at the back of the pack. He's giving his leader and Hearts Rival a 7-length head start as Petite Creek is now drafting in behind. That's a good move, especially in these older Gallop Racer games. You want to draft and save ground. The manufacturers have obviously confused horse racing for NASCAR as they really put the bump draft theory into play as they make their way inside 5.5 furlongs from home. Off cover, here's Petite Creek injecting more pace into the race with Split Effort at the back of the field. He's working harder, but again, Caleb Keller is not astute to the idea of riding on turf as he has been very wide in each and every race in this series. Paul maybe was a little too overconfident in leg number 1, but as they run to the top of the stretch in the Golden Derby, he seems to have his mount very relaxed up front as Petite Creek trying to get to the early leader. As they turn for home, Petite Creek is now asked the question, set down driving. Meanwhile, Caleb is really struggling at the back. He's still last with 1/4 mile left to go. Petite Creek set down driving. He's not finding, but Caleb's not bridging the gap. Caleb can't make up any ground because he gave up too much ground. And Paul Lo Duca will win this one easily. And it's Petite Creek to easily defeat his arch rival, Caleb Keller, not kicking in at any point in this race. He offered little, making the series a 2-1 proposition in favor of the great Paul Lo Duca.
But have you beat him head-to-head, though?
We went finished second, third. I finished second, he finished third, and then he finished second, I finished third.
Yeah,
but he got me here.
Second.
Let's see what the point total is. It was 28-28.
It was 28-28 after 2 races. Look at that.
All right, yeah.
Ooh, tough one there.
Yep.
By the way, you guys, the start waiver thing, it's different each time. It doesn't matter. Your guys, it's not the same. Yeah.
What'd you say? The what?
What are you talking about? Caleb, good break.
The brake thing isn't the same every time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100%. I keep finding myself on the front end. There's no speed in the 3-year-old crop this year, or what?
Caleb, what's your pedigree like on this horse of yours?
Well,
he's ready to go. Like the next race is 15 furlongs. His horse is ready to go that long.
I'm trying to get in the flow a little bit more here.
He's ready to go 2 miles.
The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And right now, Caleb Keller has officially filed himself as insane.
Give us those
Split
16
Effort is
furlongs.
again very wide while last on the course. Guys, you cover an awful lot of horse races on TVG. When was the last time you saw a horse win going a extended distance on the turf and was 7 wide on the first turn? We need Todd Schrupp, we need Matt Carruthers, and we certainly need Dave Weaver with a come on man on that one. So Caleb, we apologize, but we are calling you out. Come on, man. You're giving yourself no favors. The stewards are investigating possibly a little bit of a shady maneuver. He went Paul Lo Duca on the horseshoe again. I just can't get the names right. I haven't had time to study. We're doing this on one take. This is supposedly what this is all about. It's ad-libbing at its finest, and they have just over 3 furlongs to run. There's now 5/16 to go. And ask for an effort quickly today. Paul Lo Duca trying to shut the door on Caleb Keller right now. Caleb Keller trying to come on here with Split Effort. He's set down driving, and he is gaining a bit of ground. This will be close, but Caleb Keller running up on heels. Running up on heels. He's just not in the caliber of Paul Lo Duca. Paul Lo Duca just too good. And that'll extend the series to 4-1. Caleb, you're still on heels. Please take the goggles down.
Can't afford to finish like 8.
Give this one, Paulie.
Detriment to everybody. License might be revoked here pretty soon, and this is only 5 years. But Petite Creek wins the contest and wins the race, we might add.
There's this one.
It was a very good effort to get the fist pump there from Paulie on Petite Creek. Caleb Keller never found
Sammy Sosa.
And apparently his first victory was the only victory he's going to get in this series.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
One more time. Let's see my post position here. I'm going to get like 2 points here. 3.
Lo Duca will win this series, and he will move to the next round. At this point, the focus point's going to be on Caleb Keller here. Does he actually even want to try, or is he going to take a tuck and maybe wait for another day on split effort? Split effort is trying an extended trip, 15 furlongs in here. I challenge anybody to find a Grade 1 race in North America at that distance. Just goes to show you the European and Japanese influence when creating these Gallop Racer games. You'll also notice that a lot of times in these games you don't win by as much as you should, especially when you're a 1-9 favorite going a mile and a 16th on the dirt. I was always troubled by that. You could give a horse a perfect trip and still not win by very much. But perfect trips have not been something that Caleb Keller's done much of all so far. Split effort is his mount, and that's who we're focusing on. We just want to see if Paulie's going to actually give him a chance in here. He has dropped a little bit off the pace. I'm talking about Lo Duca on Petite Creek, who is the early leader of the race, at least relative to the top pair. But again, split effort is dead last here with 1.25 miles to go. According to the Gallop Racer prognosticators, both of these riders are giving their horses very, very good trips with 1.125 miles left to go. They went through 3 quarters and won 16 and 1.
It's a little James Bondish, isn't it?
I'm sure it's the same song every race.
It is.
Again, I really don't know exactly what I'm supposed to say. There's no antics of any kind. I've been repeating that throughout the telecast. There has been no antics of any kind. There has been some shady riding. There's been some bad riding, to be completely candid. And there's been some good riding by Lo Duca on Petite Creek. He's really rode a lot better than Caleb Keller has, and I would imagine that he'll be moving into the next stratosphere of the Gallop Racer world here very, very shortly. This is race number 5. It is a 15-race series with 5.5 furlongs to go. It's an important thing to note in race calling that sometimes you just have to add a little fluff because there's not much going on, and that is such the case here. There's been no change in the plot, no change in proceedings with 5 furlongs to go. The first move of the race is now put in by Lo Duca on Petite Creek. He moved him into the clear, and he moved him 4 wide. He's trying to move up now, and following the move here, now Caleb Keller, when it's a little too late and a little too, I don't even know the adjective at this point in time, but Caleb is finally figuring out that if he can trail into the race and follow his arch rival, he'll have a better chance in the stretch. And we'll see if he can get the victory here as he now sets down split effort. And split effort is trying to make an effort at the leader, Petite Creek. Petite Creek is in front. Paulie taking a look over his shoulder. He's not worried about a thing. He's got plenty left. Petite Creek, shady efforts up into second. Petite Creek will win it. So Lo Duca puts the exclamation point on this preliminary round as he beats Caleb Keller 4-1.
That's the end, right? That's all she wrote?
Yep. Petite Creek. So they give me a closer. I'm watching this one with Kane.
Wow. 37, well, 83 to 52.